Hey guys, what's up? My name is By Felicia319. I just wanted to do this vlog real quick because, um, just to talk a little bit about, I don't know, I guess mental health issues. Um, like when I did my Let's Play of Robin, although I still regret that the sound on that one was so much shite because I didn't know anything about the settings, but let's not hop down irrelevant bunny trails in this regard. I did talk a fair amount about some of my experiences with my own um, mental health issues and stuff like that. I'm just doing this vlog because today was one of those days. Um, and the sad thing is, it was kind of one of those days where it just, like, okay, it wasn't like the worst day ever. It doesn't really have to be, where depression or anxiety or any of the other types of invisible illnesses are concerned. It's just that it was one of those days at the moment I opened my eyes, literally. It was just one of those days that was kind of shite from the get go. Um, and I'm not going to go into the details. It's just, it started off on a bad foot. Or, well, okay, it started off on a not so great foot, and then just sort of, after, like, from there on down. um, and, after having to run around and do some errands, came home and thought maybe I would try to do some recordings to see if maybe that would kind of help pull me out of the funk. And it just sort of made things worse because it didn't help, mostly because I was already so drained and my energy was just so bleh, that it just made me feel even worse because the two recordings I made were ones that I literally can't bring myself to upload them. I tried recording a couple episodes of Hearthstone, and I had fun with it. I enjoyed the game itself, but it was one of those I shouldn't have been playing it to try to record. I think that right there just put some pressure on me that I didn't need yet. I should have just played um on my own for a while to try to just not worry about recording or anything like that just yet. And when I just overall got a gander at the results, it was just like, well, fuck. I can't bring myself to upload a Let's Play where I'm basically just sitting there like freaking Eeyore, as it were. I mean, it's not that I really count on a whole lot of people wanting to watch my stuff at the moment in the first place, but at least in the stuff I've tried doing so far, you can at least tell that I'm into it. you know? Um and it just sort of, yeah, I at least I know for future reference that if I'm feeling that way, to, even if I'm playing something, to not put that pressure on myself of trying to record at that moment when I'm definitely not feeling it. Like, giving it I'm not giving it what I could, or what I know I could if I weren't feeling like that. I don't know. Does that make any sense? Um and to top it all off, it, what makes it even worse is that, it's not just so much. I mean, it's bad enough having to deal with a little bit of a depression spiral, because in the grand scheme of things, this is not even remotely the worst one I've dealt with. And I'm still kind of in the middle of it, but I'm trying to progress through it. But like I said, it's bad enough having to deal with a depression spiral in the first place. But when it happens on your kid's birthday, yeah. So that just adds even more to it, because now not only am I already feeling awful in the first place, but my youngest son had to basically deal with me being an empty, depressed pill on his birthday. How shitty is that, you know? So, um, thankfully, I mean, and bless him, he was such a good sport about it. He was very understanding. I've mentioned before, I seriously have the most amazing kids on the planet. I mean, yeah, okay, generally you think every parent says so, but there's been times like my eldest, for instance. You want to know how amazing my eldest is? For instance, a few years ago, on his birthday, I was so broke that we couldn't even do anything yet. Like we had to wait like 2 weeks before we could actually go and do something for his birthday. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the kind of kid I was at his age, I would have thrown a fit. That's just the straight up fucking truth. And he when I told him, like, honey, I'm so sorry, we're gonna have to wait to do something because da 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 da. Bless him, he was just like, it's okay, mommy, I understand. Stabbity stabbity stabbity, amazing. And my youngest, no different. I mean, he did get a little down a little bit, in which I felt awful because of course he had every right to feel like, well, crap, this shit just sucks. He wasn't guilt. He never guilt tripped me once. All he did was just express some very understandable, like, bummed, just bummed out. And of course, that was still a bit of a stab through the heart because, like, when dealing with something like this and you see how it negatively impacts people that you really don't want to put that kind of burden on them, it kind of just drives the dagger in a bit deeper. But I mean, he was never disrespectful or what anybody would consider bratty, not anything like that. It was just that simple expression of and I told him profusely that I was sorry for basically being a big fucking pill on his birthday. And he told me, he's like, it's okay, mommy, I understand you're having a hard day. um Seriously, I'm so fucking proud of my kids. They are the reason I keep going even times when I feel so fucking tired. I don't even know how to I can't even contemplate taking another step, so to speak. But anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to record this vlog real quick just to sort of get this off my chest a little bit. And then um I think I might try to do another try not to laugh video. I'm not sure if I will fail on it or not, but at the very least, it's worth a shot to see if I can try to drag my arse out of this fucking hole. You know, um, because at the very least, even though the official birthday got botched, we're planning on going to see Pacific Rim on Friday, and okay, like when we saw the trailer, we saw the trailer to it when we went and saw the Star Wars: The Last Jedi a couple months back, and holy crap, he like went to pieces. Like, oh my god, mom, can we go see Pacific Rim on my birthday? You got it, dude. You got it, baby. Um, so at least there's still a bit of that chance to sort of recover something good about his birthday, but it's just, you know, I think I'm also posting this because, again, there's so many people out there who deal with this kind of shit. And at the very least, if anybody's watching this who deals with depression, we all know what it's like to have it strike at the most god's awful times. I mean, inopportune at times doesn't even cover it. It's such a flimsy word for just how direly a spiral can just fuck everything up. So at the very least, I hope that my getting this out there, not just getting it off my chest, but um I mean, I'm sure there I'm sorry. Like I said, if you're watching this and you also deal with depression or anxiety or whatever other kind of invisible illness, be it physical or mental or whatever, I just hope that it at least lets you know that you're not alone, because this kind of shit, it can make you feel like you are entirely alone. And I mean, even when we know logically we're not alone, um, the emotional black hole going on is very convincing in getting us to feel like, yeah, well, fuck the logic. Of course I'm alone, you know. And the funny thing is, some people call us self-absorbed for feeling that way or whatever, when it's not like that at all. That disconnect and feeling like they're, even just emotionally or whatever, feeling like, really, how could anybody relate to what this feels like, regardless of what our logic says? I don't know. I can't keep my thoughts straight. I feel like I was entirely useless today. Well, hell, let's just be straight up honest. It's not just feeling like, I in so many ways I was so fucking useless today. I mean, I put a damper on my little boy's birthday. Wasn't able to record anything for my channel today. Didn't bother editing a couple of videos I did. uh what was it? I don't know, a few days ago. I can't even think. I can't keep days straight at the moment. Yeah, it was just one of those days where I was completely fucking useless. Um, I didn't. I was supposed to. Well, I was supposed to have therapy today, but my therapist, bless her heart, she got mixed up and had us on the book for last week, and we didn't have anything scheduled for today. That was the first thing that kind of went wrong. And like I said, I'm not really going to go into any other details. It was just one of those days where a whole bunch of just little things not going right that just sort of added up into a pile. And then, of course, there's that struggle with wanting to punish oneself for being so fucking useless, and especially wanting to punish oneself for botching up your little boy's birthday. Just, it was a day where it was just one big ball of fuck everything. Um, found myself sh- uh, found myself having a bit of a not favorable perspective, even regarding like my YouTube channel. I don't mean like in a bad way. I just mean that, like, one of the things I talked about when I finally did start making videos, was wanting to keep my focus on just having as much fun as possible, and not focusing so much on the pressure of like subscribers or views or whatever, but just to have fun, and doing the best I can and letting the rest just sort itself out as it comes along. Like, the day that I posted my fuck yeah 20 subscribers vlog, um after I posted it, the next day I saw it was okay, down to 19. And then later on that day, after posting my first try not to laugh challenge, and let's face it, I didn't really try all that hard. um my subscriber count jumped up to like 24. And then last night, after I wrapped up my longer than intended Witcher live stream, saw it was back down to 19. And that's, like I said, that's, I, I I let myself get discouraged over that, and that was another thing that kind of threw a wrench in the day. It wasn't the main thing. It it was just one of the cogs in the wheel. And And the funny thing is, like, on the way home from running our errands, I was talking to my kids about, continuing to, oh, because mind you, real fast, my kids are homeschooled at this point. That's a whole long story. I'm not even gonna get into right now. But we were coming home after our not getting to have therapy and then having to run a few more errands, and I was telling them about how, just encouraging them to do their best on their schoolwork because, trouble focusing sometimes and having the impulse to rush through their schoolwork and not give their best effort, and just trying to encourage them to give it their all so that they can be successful in whatever it is they want to do when they're adults. And even right down to the fact that, whatever it is you want to do, you have to, give it your all. And they know very well because I've had this conversation with them so many times about the fact that I just want them to be more successful as adults than I've been. um I've mentioned before that I have an issue with, like, following through. they I've talked with them at length about that kind of stuff, being very honest with them about my shortcomings, in hopes that they can learn from my shortcomings. They're going to make plenty of their own mistakes, but also trying to help them, if at all possible, to avoid mine. Like, learn from the mistakes that you end up having to make, but there's some mistakes you don't have to repeat just to learn the lesson yourself. But if you do, so be it. But and then telling them that, whatever it is they want to do, that of course they'd have to work very hard at it, and that there's going to be days where they feel discouraged and they're going to feel like, well, fuck this, fuck you, fuck that, fuck everything, fuck off, and feeling like they want to give up. And of course, getting home, I mean, I was already on that slippery slope of the aforementioned F everything. And it's not that I felt at all today like I wanted to just say fuck it and stop doing YouTube. I mean, I would have felt really fucking stupid if I gave in to that impulse because I've not even been doing this a month. And I already had a talk with myself about feeling discouraged, even just over the, oscillating subscriber count, because that's something I've never wanted to be terribly focused on. I mean, yes, I would love to have more subscribers and people watching and interacting and leaving ideas and feedback and, hey, why don't you try this, to improve your channel or whatever. It's just, thoughts, ideas, all that good shit. Because I want to learn. I want to learn from people who've been doing this. I want to learn from people who've just started doing this themselves, who are maybe taking a different approach and all that good shit. Um, and I felt rather silly for letting my focus um, drift off of what I initially started out with. And I know this is not going to be the last time I struggle with this. And I try to keep myself very aware of that. But again, all of this crap. The most important thing out of all of this today is my baby boy's birthday. He turned 11 today. And, you know, birthdays are supposed to be special, even for poor people, as much as possible. And it wasn't an entirely lost cause. It's just that uh, most of the day was just a letdown, and not for me. I mean, yeah, it was for me, but I'm more concerned of the fact that it was a letdown for him. This was to be his day, and yes, the main event of his birthday, again, Friday. I get that, but that doesn't make me feel like I'm let off the hook for making his birthday such a letdown. Anyway, I've rambled on this long enough, I suppose. I mean, otherwise I'm just gonna keep going in circles, and who the fuck wants to watch that? Um, Hell, I don't even want to listen to it. I don't even want to listen to myself go over and over and over like, freaking hamster in a wheel. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything I have the spoons to stream tonight. I'm not sure I do. And actually, even trying to do a try not to laugh challenge requires that I move everything over to my desk and set it back up for how I do when I'm recording and stuff like that. And fuck that. So I'm not sure if I mean, part of me wants to play some Witcher, But at the same time, I also know that I actually really need to get some sleep. Part of why I feel so crappy is um, I've been having a lot of insomnia lately, and I've not been getting. I mean, usually I can function really well off of like 4 or 5 hours each night. I can function well enough, but today was just one of those days. Like I've been having a severe case of the yawns all day, but more than that, just feeling that absolute energy drain. Like I've got absolutely nothing to give, and that of course only contributes to depression, or depression contributed it, and then it just feeds into each other. It's ridiculous. Um, I'm actually trying to find some free horror games I can play. Um, I can't get Layers of Fear to work on this computer, and that makes me sad, but at least I have it for when I do get a better computer that can handle it. But every time I try to open it up, it makes my graphics, the graphics drive, AMD or whatever, crash and have to restart, and then Layers of Fear doesn't want to respond, so it has to close, and piss. I've been wanting to play that for so fucking long now. Um, but otherwise, I'm not. I've never played a horror game before. I mean, not really. I've played a little bit of Silent Hill. I can't remember which Silent Hill I actually have. I could go find that out real quick. Give me just a second. And no, I'm not even going to bother editing this. I just want to get this finished and get it straight uploaded, because that's all I've got the spoons to do today in that regard. And you know what? That's okay. Be right back. I want, because it's going to drive me nuts if I can't get the title right for the specific Silent Hill game that I've got. Give me just a sec. Uh, Dah. Just, you can stare at the ceiling and a little bit of my pretty lights for a minute. Fuck it. Oh, Silent Hill Downpour is what it's called. Okay. Get you situated back on my lap. Oh, goodness gracious. And then retrieve my headphones. Okay. Okay, so yeah, the only horror game I actually own, uh, I balls. Okay, it's gonna be backwards. Fuck it, whatever. Silent Hill Downpour. Um, I haven't gotten very far in this at all. Mostly just because I got stuck on something, not because it like freaked me out so bad I couldn't continue. It's just because I got stuck. Um, what was it? It was this one part where this, like, I don't know, blobbish creatures chasing you, and you're having to like go through all these twists and turns to try to keep it from catching you or something. And I tried so many times and I just couldn't get past it, and I've just said fuck it and haven't tried since. So anyway, yeah, like I said, I'm trying to find some horror games that I can try. Like I've never really played any horror games. I think something psychological type would be very good. I've I've watched bits and pieces of Let's Plays for like Outlast and Outlast 2, and I'm watching it going, fuck that, better you than me, because holy crap. um, so, and I've also been trying to look into other games that can actually be just that cathartic, therapeutic, whatever. When dealing with lapses like this, I guess. But still just trying to find other things I can play. I'm not sure if I'm going to try to record Hearthstone again. Um, for, I don't know, I might. But I just, like I said, I felt so shitty about the two recordings I did do that aren't even worth, they're not worth posting. I mean, it's not that I want to be fake on my channel or whatever, but you know, if somebody's going to watch you do a Let's Play, they should at least be able to enjoy it instead of feeling like, I don't know, the possibility, I guess, of my crappy, depressed energy somehow like rubbing off on them or something. And I don't mean to like, I don't mean that in a way like, oh yes, no, it's just, I don't want to be a bummer in that regard. If I'm playing a video game, I want it to be fun. I don't want to be trying to just playing something just for the sake of having something to upload if it's not something that I can feel good about uploading. So, okay, now I've rambled on quite long enough. But if anybody has any ideas for like free horror games that you would recommend that I try, by all means, please leave that in the comments if you made it this far through the video, that is. But if you made it through this far, dude, kudos, thanks. I wouldn't blame anybody if they don't watch this or start watching it only to go, okay, well, next. Anyway, thank you for watching. Um, hit subscribe if you'd like to see more, and leave comments about things you'd like for me to talk about, games you think I'd like to play, or games you'd like to see me play, or whatever. Just any sort of feedback, comments, whatever that you'd like to leave. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Have a good night.